Get strong.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku podcast. I'm your host for tonight, the Mad Dog Isaac, and joining me tonight is Didge. How's it going, man?
It's going good, Happy to be here. Happy to talk some more anime. Well, movie in this case, but happy to be here.
We're also joined by Jamie. How's it going, Jamie?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long day IRL, so I was taking a nap. If you catch me doing 1,000 yard stare, I'm waking up. I'm waking up.
I mean, naps are always nice to do.
They are, but then my
Mm.
brain is like it needs some time to wake back up.
Yep, I get you. Oh
I
my
mean,
god, you can see I'm already on there.
Dang, don't start.
we're not getting younger, aren't we?
Dang, no.
Yeah, I guess not.
Hmm.
None
Not
of us are
yet.
the
I,
Benjamin Button
I
stuff.
sound so old when I said that, didn't I?
I
Nah, it
mean,
But
happens.
it's the
but
truth.
anyway, like Did said, we are covering anime movie right now, and one movie that is sort of similar to the what was it called, the one that we did not so long ago, did the my Oni
Oh,
Girl.
my only girl, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was in the same aspect that I can admit that I saw trailer. It looked cute, and I messaged them, "Hey, do you guys want to cover this? Because I felt this could be worth covering." And well, I always like to give exposure to some animes that might flew under the radar or stuff like that. And the movie in question that we are going to talk about is none other than The Imaginary, which is based on a book, apparently, which I didn't know going into this.
I didn't know that either.
And to quote the synopsis, in a world where imagination can live, Roger, an imaginary boy, can be seen by no one but his creator, a young girl named Amanda. Their shared existence is confined to the attic of Amanda's residence, where they dwell into their vibrant imagination. However, imaginaries are subject to an inexorable fate, disillusion with humans' forgetfulness. Baffled by this eventuality, Roger clings to a glimmer of hope, embarking on an inspicious odyssey after he gets hunted by a mysterious man. Um, well, let's start with you, Jamie. What are your thoughts about the movie, so to speak? Wait,
Uh,
sorry.
Yes. Okay. So I really enjoyed. I think the crown jewel of this movie is definitely like the animation. It looks really really great and has some of those very reminiscent of Studio Ghibli, as some of the people working on this previously worked with Studio Ghibli.
Yeah,
And some of the designs, like the cat character. Y'all know I don't be remembering people's names, but the cat character, very reminiscent of like other Ghibli characters that I've seen, especially like Totoro, a little bit in the face. And outside of just like the art itself being great, I think that's always to be expected whenever you have anyone related to Ghibli around a project. The story itself, I felt like the pacing for me was a little strange. It felt a little bit slow in the beginning, in my opinion, but then it like very quickly picked up after like a little bit, and we're kind of just like coasting around, like, oh, okay, this is starting to develop, starting to get interesting. And then the finale is like insane, really crazy to like kind of how everything all came together. I definitely could not have predicted this story from moment to moment. That is for sure. You'll be on your toes the whole time. Um, but this was a cool movie. I'm glad that Netflix is supporting this project and allowed us all to kind of see something different in terms of anime, especially compared to like what Demon Slayer's got cooking up in the next year or so.
What about you, Didge?
I think Jamie talking about it being different at the end there is very, very poignant because this was definitely something different. I do agree with her sentiments that it did kind of start a little slower. It's sort of a running joke in the Discord, but I do think that they could have shaved off about 15, 20 minutes of this, if we're being honest, just because a lot of it was obviously setting up the world of the Imaginaries, sort of setting up what we were getting with Roger and everything, but I feel like they dove a little too deep into that. And like towards the end, it kind of didn't have as much of a payoff as I thought it would. But overall, like the art direction of it was I thought it was very great. Like it was very beautiful to watch. The characters, some of them were memorable, some of them were not. Wait, what were you gonna say?
For spoilers, I got.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it was just overall though. This is definitely like a good anime movie. Like it's something that people should definitely watch. Just know that those first 15 or so minutes, you can get your snack or whatever. You know.
Yeah, I'm sort of with you guys. And it's like Jamie said, it shows that there's previous people from Studio Ghibli working on it. More to be exact, it's made by Studio Ponoc, or is it pronounced that way?
I think so.
P-O-N.
That's what
which
I
is
thought.
and it was created back in 2015 by a former lead film producer from Studio Ghibli. And their first movie was apparently something called Mary and the Witchflower, which could be something worth checking out someday, maybe.
Mary and hold on, let me make sure. There's only one Studio Ghibli movie that I thought was bad. Let me double check and make sure
it's not that 3D anime.
Oh, okay. Because it was like, I feel like it was Mary and the something witch in there, so that's why I got nervous. Like, whoa.
It's not the 3D animated one, which they did just for the sake of seeing if they could delve into the market, because, well, as sad as it's to say, it's more modern with 3D animation right now.
It was Erwig and the Witch.
That movie.
Don't watch that one, y'all.
It's the black spot of Studio Ghibli's library, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's fair.
And it's and I don't it's. Could you say that the more they are in the imaginary world, it's kind of like a fever dream, because it feels like they went all. That's where they truly went all in with the animation, and just because they realize, oh, this is an imaginary place. We can just go. We can go all in if we so want, kind of deal. Or was that just me?
No, I can definitely see that. The library was one of the more surprising parts about the film. I guess I'm late to look at the thing, non-spoilers, but yeah, the library is one of the more surprising parts of the film. They explore more than just. I guess it becomes more of not what makes the library in terms of like bricks and stuff, but what makes up the library with like the stories, the ideas, the knowledge, and things like that, and really expands on it. So I actually really liked that the Imaginaries, like their hub was based in that.
Yeah, I would say just sort of in the scope of think about all the stuff that your imagination can create. It was great to see them really go a lot more fantastical with that. Like, it's not a spoiler to say that, like, when you're dealing with an
No.
imaginary friend, you're creating an imaginary world, and they took that very literal, where you
Yeah.
were would transform to whatever this imaginary world that was thought up, and whether it was for good or for bad, it was useful. It was used, I should say, both in world and just for animation purposes to really expand the horizon of the film.
Yeah, I can agree on that. And do you think we can go on the spoiler territory now, since there isn't
Yeah,
much to say non-spoiler wise?
I
And
would say
since
so because I almost dropped a spoiler on accident. I
Yeah,
think Jamie did too. So,
yeah.
but
I guess kind of to cap the non-spoiler section.
yeah,
Um, if you haven't seen this and you're interested in it, piques your interest, or you're really into Studio Ghibli, I definitely say give this a shot.
mhm.
Um,
yeah,
I would say that compared to some other Studio Ghibli films, this one, it feels like the audience was more specifically children, I guess. Like other Studio Ghibli films, I feel like everybody can kind of enjoy. This one, I like everybody can enjoy this, but it's definitely
It's
it,
age younger.
it has some deeper things to it, but I feel like it doesn't dig deep enough in those aspects for it to be like, yeah, like it makes you think deep. So that's my only non-spoiler thought,
you
I
can
guess.
argue that it shows that it's based on a kid's book, maybe,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely I would agree with that.
wh- which it apparently is a British children's novel written by A.F. Harold and illustrated by Emily Gravett,
A.F.
which
Harold.
But yeah, let's go with spoiler section now. And since you were so eagerly to talk about spoilers, Jamie, I'll let you start it off with the spoiler section.
Yeah, it's funny because and I'm just going in right deep, so if you're not ready for the spoilers, leave now. But it's funny because when the imaginaries they get separated from the person that created them, they slowly start to like glitter away, and um, and then it's almost like they didn't exist, which I thought was kind of interesting. Well, they didn't exist to like other people in the imaginary community, but Roger remembered Emily. What's her name? Emily? Now I can't even remember. What's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Emily.
Yes.
Emily.
So I thought. So Emily, she's kind of like one of the leaders, I guess, of the Imaginaries. You could say she's also the only other like human imaginary, which I thought was interesting. And she helps Roger kind of get reconnected back to Amanda, but she does suffer the price of like fully disappearing. And I thought that, Emily gave Roger the goggles. And I'm like, surely Roger's going to tell Amanda, oh my gosh, like I met this really cool girl. Her name was Emily. And she was like, had a squirrel suit and all this stuff. And Amanda would reimagine Emily, and Emily would be like resurrected. I thought for sure that was going to happen, but it didn't.
There was literally no stakes to her death. Like, he got out of, like, he felt sad for a second, then it was all right, we got to go back to get
Yeah,
Amanda. Nobody remembered her, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like anybody could be like, yo, you get the, even if it was kind of misplaced, you caused this, now, we're mad at you. It was just literally like, oh,
That's a
cannon
good point.
fodder, bye.
Yeah. That's a good
which was
point.
a shame, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. That was confusing to me because if they disappear, I thought it was like only the person that created them wouldn't remember them anymore, not other imaginaries would
Yeah,
remember
like, that was so interesting to me because in a world where, like, you're trying to show that the imagination, how powerful it is, it's a very feeble power because like if I stop believing in you, you're done, and nothing happens. It means nothing at the end of the day.
It
Yeah,
and then the other
which is just weird.
It's a weird thing.
that was strange. I was not expecting that. And then the what's his name? Starts with the B. The weird guy, the old weird guy that was trying to eat everybody up.
Bunting.
Bunch
Yeah.
So what the frick is Bunting?
That's another thing that was weird to me because like his mouth turned into like a vacuum. Like it was crazy.
So he said he's lived like centuries or whatever. So I almost thought it was a oh, that's a spoiler for that anime. I can't say that. I almost thought it was
It's
For
a
wait-
spoiler.
For
You're a
what
spoiler
anime?
section.
Summertime rendering. Summertime rendering. But
Oh yeah, no, don't.
Situation where like one of his parents was a person and the other parent was somehow an imaginary.
That's
And
so crazy.
In like a human imaginary or something, he was able to live or something. But that's
No,
not what he is. So I don't understand what he is, why he likes eating imaginaries. I don't know. And then freaking Wednesday, was that his imaginary? Or was she just like, let me just.
No pun intended. I imagine that she was, considering how she was stuck with him, she was stuck with him, and didn't they sort of say that he survived for so long because he ate other imaginaries?
See,
which is like crazy because what does that mean?
Was he imagining the imaginaries that he would eat, or was he eating other people's? And
it seems like he was eating other people's. Cause like, remember how he showed up at the bookstore, and like he was about to snatch Roger out the bookstore.
But okay, this is the other thing that I don't fully understand. It seemed like at the end, some rules kind of just became very loose. I didn't know that, or at least I don't feel like it was established that if you have an imaginary, you can see everybody else's. I thought it was just yours.
I don't remember it ever being established either.
So that's why.
But then you kind of do. I guess
other people.
It never was established, but also he from the beginning he was able to see other imaginaries.
Yeah.
My question is, maybe it is that he had a so strong imagination that for some reason that he could eat an imaginary, and the more he ate, the stronger imagination he had, and that caused him to be able to sense other people's imagination, and while becoming part imaginary himself, and due to his imagination, he could live for as long as he did before his inevitable death. Because when he ate his own imaginary, which I assume the Wednesday lookalike was, he's all of a sudden was killed off due to old age. It's sort of like, let's say, Black Adam, for example. They defeated him at one point in the comics. I can't recall what it is, but what's the name of Black Adam's human alias again?
It's Adam something. I can't remember the name.
I can't remember. It was like
Adam.
Teth Adam. Thank you. But I know that there's a comic where they make him say Shazam in one of the comics, that the thing he says for getting any power. So he returned to his original form, and because he is as old as he is, he then suddenly he then died out of age because the powers doesn't help him anymore. And this is just speculation. Because I imagine, again, no pun intended, that it could be something like he killed his own imagination and therefore he died because he lost the imagination that he could be alive or something.
I guess so. That was interesting. But I feel like a lot of what you were saying could be the lore for it, because I just remembered this towards the end of the movie when they're having that final fight. The mom couldn't see Roger. She couldn't see Roger this whole time. But then when she called, or no, wait. What made her be able to see them?
When she called Fridge.
I think it was before she called Fridge because she already saw the snake and stuff. So that was, now I'm like, what made her wake
That
up
is
to
true.
the imaginaries? I can't remember.
I don't know.
That was extremely uncertain. That, by the way, did you guys see it in sub or dub?
I watched it dubbed.
I also watched
Did,
it though.
did you know? Do you know who the voice actor for Fridge was?
I actually just saw it. I was just looking this up.
Do you know, Jamie?
I don't. I feel like I saw it somewhere though.
It is random. I'll give you that.
Is it?
It was
Yeah.
so random.
It's a rather well-known name within the nerd community, though. That's for certain.
Let me see. Imaginary cast dub.
Oh, you're looking it up.
Yeah, I cannot tell you. Bridge. Oh, Lamar Burton.
That's why I started humming the Reading
Right.
Rainbow song.
Oh, I had no idea what you were. I wasn't even listening to that.
I
was watching
noticed.
the Google.
I noticed. I tried to give you a hint.
Oh, Reading Rainbow, Lamar Burton. Got it.
Yeah, but he was the one voicing the dog, and apparently Haley Stantwell was voicing the mom, which was kind of interesting.
Yep, and Cal Penn was the cat.
Which
Wait, what's the cat's name? That's what I was forgetting.
Jinzen.
And what is it with Japanese animation and have cats with magical powers? Whisker Away and Cat in the Hat. No, not Cat in the Hat. That's, although that is getting another movie, but that's a story for another pod.
What if Dr. Seuss was Japanese? That'd be crazy.
I was.
That'd be wild.
There is a cat. There is a movie about the cat in. What's it called? I brain freeze now, but anyway. But could it not be? This is just my speculation. Also, that they were up in the air with how the whole worked. It I can speculate that they had so up in the air because they wanted, because as we said before, it's a family/kids movie, so to speak, that they want to have the kid imagine how it worked, considering it's a kid's book from the start.
That's fair. I feel like in these kinds of situations, it's hard to completely satisfy everybody. But I think that if they had done a better job of explaining, I guess, just like the basic rules for the world, then at least for me, I could fill in the gaps more easily. Not that it really mattered at the end of the day. I'm not like mad because I'm like, I don't get how Bunting did it. What the heck, blah, blah, blah. But being able to give enough information where I can kind of like imagine how all this came to be, I feel like would have made it a little bit stronger story-wise.
I get that. What about you, Didge?
I was more concerned with how creepy Bunting was just in general. Like
Yeah.
nobody else was everybody in the world was okay. Like even if they couldn't see his imaginary friend, they were seeing him like chase after this little girl, and everybody just going about their day. It was even when they got
Yeah,
even how he got into the hospital room. Like I was just like,
that was the biggest
See,
this is
mystery
all
for me.
weird.
that was,
That was the
yeah.
biggest mystery for me, if I'm being completely honest. I mean,
Like you
did,
could be wearing a Hawaiian shirt under the lab.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
did he, I know it's a bit pretty dark for me, considering it's a kids' book and all. But did he kill the nurse that he talked to, or something?
Because she definitely kept asking him like, what is your relation? It was one of those things like even if she didn't give it to him, my thought was like, well, how did he find this room? That means he had to clearly been going to the children's ward and looking in each time, and it's like nobody questioned that.
yeah, I don't know. He was a weird dude in general, so they needed to he needed to find the room. That's
He,
what it was.
yeah, I get what their premise was. The adult who just couldn't give up imagination.
The guy that never grew up, maybe.
Yeah, like that. And that's what it definitely felt like their premise was, but it was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, he was a creepy dude. He was.
That's an understatement. I feel like if I had seen this as a kid, I would have been scared shitless.
Oh yeah, I was kind of scared watching him unhinge his jaw and all that stuff that was going on.
Yeah, when his teeth turned into like I said, the inside of the vacuum, I was like, this is some
like,
stuff.
whoa.
And especially since I am afraid of snakes, it would make the final fight even worse.
I don't have a phobia of snakes, but I definitely don't mess with them. So
yeah, same.
It would have been tough.
But do you guys have anything else on the spoilers that you want to point out?
I did think it was interesting that I think the imaginary that was formerly the skeleton, his name was like Crush or something, right? Nice. I don't think he had a speaking role. Whatever. Okay, yes.
The crunch skeleton.
Yes, cruncher of bones. I thought it was kind of interesting that, first of all, they had this whole system where you could like be a rented imaginary for a day.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. Like you just got rented friends.
Yeah, that was interesting. But then, like, there's a chance that if you get rented, you could just be bought. It was essentially like Blockbuster for imaginaries. That was interesting to me. But then when he started turning into the panda, I was like, oh, this is wild. And similar to like Roger when he was, I don't even know how he was immediately chosen, but he was chosen by the girl, and then he started turning into a girl, which that was also interesting to me because I'm like, I don't know how they would feel about that in Japan, but in America, I'm sure so many parents would be like, how could you show my child this little boy turning into a girl?
Yeah.
So I thought that was, well, that in itself was a different thing, but just the fact that the imaginaries kind of transform and become something else when they find a new, like, you can't even really call them a creator, an adopter, I guess you could say. That was an interesting concept to me that I wish they would have explored with Amelia or Emily. I don't remember her name, but why didn't Amanda imagine her? That would have been like a good way to cap it because I think Roger still had the goggles at the end. So
yeah, which was surprising.
Yeah, that's why I thought she was coming back.
Like it was that, and then and also the other thing that just kind of stuck out to me was it felt like it was inconsistent in the timing of how long they were going to disappear. Like the way that they kind of made it seem like at the very beginning when they were first showing Roger the library, it was like, you got to get there right this second because you are seconds away from death.
See, I was confused by that because I thought that like Bunting literally just told us like, oh, he's special, like, you know, he's got like this thing going on. So I thought he was gonna last a little bit longer, but as soon as he ran into Jinzen,
Yeah, something
Jinzen?
like that.
Then he just started melting. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought Jinzen was evil at first, because then he led him to the library and he said something, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of like yeah, you're gonna stay there forever or something, like, because Roger just told him he wanted to go back to see Amanda. He's like, you're not gonna do that, you're gonna stay here forever. And then Roger turned around and said, you said what? And then the door closed. So that's why I thought he was evil.
Yeah,
like, oh no.
But like even with the one who the little robot one that he saw at the beginning, he was like, it's over for me, basically. Then all of a sudden later in the movie he popped up in the library, and I ain't gonna lie, I was happy about that because I got sad at that moment. I was like, damn, it's over for him.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. But yeah, that's my closing thoughts.
Yeah, that's mine too.
You're pretty much taking the word out of my mouth out of the last spoiler thoughts. But just for the sake of it, if you guys had to rate it in sort of like a 5-star rating kind of deal, what would you give it then?
5 stars. I give it a 3. I wanted a little bit more, and at the same time, I also wanted to be a little bit less with the first 15 minutes.
Understandable.
I would echo that. 3.5 max. It was a fun tale. It had some pacing issues. They could have shaved off 15 minutes, but it's a worthy watch.
Agreed. 3 out of 5 for me. But anyway, with that said, Jamie, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me here on YouTube. I'm curious though, if anybody else has seen the movie, tell us down in the comments, what would you rate this film? And what do you
Good
think
point. I forgot to mention.
what
Say that.
is, yeah. But yeah, on YouTube you can find me at Swiper_Prime, as well as on Twitch under the same username. I do a lot of gaming content. Every once in a while I make a vlog. It's not on those channels, but if you care about my life, you'll find it. You'll find the vlogs. But yeah, that's where you can find. What's going on with your friends, dude?
I don't know if all your names are the same. I've tagged you in many.
I said that, you know. I said, you know, Swiper Prime for gaming stuff. Other things, you'll find it if you look at it.
Okay.
And what about you, Ditch? You had a project coming up also, right?
Yeah, we're still in the midst of working on that. You can find me at Dig_DEE or on the Geek Set Podcast channel. Both of those are also the same across all social media. And in both locations, wait, what did you say?
You had a project going on.
No, JV said something in the middle of that. I heard.
I know, it sounded like a slight to me.
Did I say something wrong?
No, JV did. I heard it. I didn't know the full scope of what she said, but yeah, we are still in the midst of working on our documentary, the Black Geek documentary. Especially we're working on the Kickstarter just to finish it out, the production. You can see more information of all of that on my social media as well as the Geek Set Podcast one.
Link to that Kickstarter down below, by the way.
Ooh, thank you, and apparently down below. But that's about it. I'll figure out what Jamie said in the recap.
And well, you can find me over here at the Damage Sure Talk Otaku, and you can find me at Emblemaniac on Twitter. I'm not gonna call it what it Trillin is named right now because I don't care. And you can find me also at the Wolf Rights, where I'm going to write my stuff, and I'm gonna start something next week, which will be quite interesting. See y'all next time. Please like and subscribe and press that bell. Have it awesome, y'all.
Bye.